Hello there. Welcome, everybody. This is a bit of a different video for y'all. We're doing traditional art this time because I actually have a setup to do it with. But yeah, I got a new fancy schmancy stand that I'm going to be using to make traditional art videos. Sue me. I will preface this video with the fact that I'm still very much getting used to actually using this to record things on my desk and all that. In general, I'm getting used to this desk because, as you can tell, this is a brand new desk. My original one was this black one with little cubbies in it, and now I have, like, what I'm gonna consider, like, a gamer desk, almost. I call it a gamer desk because that's kind of what it actually is. Like, it even has, like, a little stand area, which is what I'm clipping my recording system to, that is meant for a monitor, but I don't use a monitor because I have a laptop. But I'm so happy with this desk. It's so big. I can fit this giant book that you're seeing right here in this video on it with no trouble, which I couldn't do back on my previous desk. Also, subtle plug to the stuff that I'm using. I'm using a Crescent Render book. I highly recommend buying it. It's really good for pretty much anything that isn't watercolor. But in general, I really do like this brand new setup. I love that I have like my own little cubicle space within it, and it's like right across from my bed, so when I wake up, I can immediately get to work and feel more productive and all that kind of stuff. The only thing I'm not really looking forward to is the fact that in a couple of weeks, we're going to have to move all of this shit and more in order to go and have our windows be fixed, which, like, I don't mind getting the windows fixed. We're going to be getting brand new windows that can open from both sides, but at the same time, I don't want to move all of this shit again. That and also just the idea of having these random strangers in my room for hours at a time. Like, I'll know I'll be working, but still having the thought of just these people being in my room, in my personal space, in my little bubble, irks me for some reason. I don't know, I'm weird like that. But anyways, getting back to the art piece, this is actually a comic that I've been trying to work on for quite some time now. If y'all remember when the Grimace Shake was out, that's how long this has been in creation for. I didn't work on it initially when it was popular because for one reason or another I just couldn't figure out if the comic could work, and just generally speaking I did it all wrong initially. You can kind of see on the page that there's remnants of what it used to be, but eventually I did figure it out and I'm very happy with the result that I ended up getting. I will say I'm not entirely satisfied with the last 3 panels because I genuinely couldn't think of a good, like, joke line for my character to say in order for any of it to properly work out. But I managed. I did it. I am not fixing it. Fuck you. I also do want to take a brief moment just to apologize because if you guys have noticed, I haven't really posted a lot on YouTube in quite some time. I think it's been about a month, if not more. I'm sorry about that. Like, I have so many videos, specifically in my editing app, that are, like, ready to be published and everything. I just need to edit them a tiny bit more. But the issue is, one of those videos, I think, as I've stated, is the Steven Universe Diamond Authority that I've been working on for, I think, literally a year. And it's 13 minutes long. I mean, this video is 16 and a half minutes long, but 13 minutes, my guy! Especially since, like, the only days that I really get off from work are, like, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and the occasional weekend. I don't always have the energy to be like, yes, let me go sit down in CapCut and edit this for, like, an hour, and then I'll be good. I just don't always have that energy. But I will try to get that video posted as soon as possible because I really do want that eventually to come out. And it's not like I haven't been doing art either. I definitely have been. It's just difficult to post as of recently because, mentally speaking, I've not been in the greatest situation. But also, I see my art and it's like, this is nice, and then I do nothing with it. Like, it's weird to explain, but just, like, I'll create so much stuff and then I won't have any drive to post it anywhere other than TikTok on occasion. And even there, I've been kind of slacking on my posting as of recently because I've just been busy. But especially with this general new setup, I do want to try and post more. Especially since now I actually have the means to make traditional art, which I've been wanting to do for the longest time. For ages now, I have wanted to do traditional art videos just because I would like to see that as something on my page. For the longest time, I've been doing digital art, and I feel like that's good, but it doesn't always feel like it's enough, in a way. Like, I know I'm not doing YouTube full-time or anything like that, but, like, a lot of the time when I see artists, it isn't just them doing one kind of medium. They're doing digital art, they're doing traditional art, they're doing, like, mixed media or whatever. And I've seen so many sketchbook videos, and I'm like, I want to make those. I want to be able to do a sketchbook tour at some point, which I do have plans to do that at some point whenever I finish a particular sketchbook, but like, I want to do so much of it. I have so many plans with this stand that I now can do. In general, I'm just really excited for what's to come with this channel, as well as like other things that I have planned. I'm kind of gonna go back to a particular point, that being the stuff that I use, because like, I know no one's asked like what art supplies do I use, but I've been meaning to like get that out in the open because good artists don't gatekeep their shit. In traditional art, I use two different outliners. I use the Pigma Micron, which like a large majority of artists use, but I also found this sort of sleeper hit at the dollar store that are these Jot ballpoint pens. They're specifically the ones with the slanted tops to them. Those work the best out of any of their like pen brands. I will say though, Jot tends to bleed a little bit easier than the Pigmas. As for coloring, I do have a few Copics that I've just gotten over the course of time, but I primarily use Ohuhu markers. I absolutely agree with people's statements about how these are pretty much the poor man's Copics, because they pretty much are, and I'm very tempted to buy that 320-piece set so desperately so that way I can go give my friend Emmy the set that I already have, except for the skin set. I'm keeping the skin set because that is the only one that I have. When I'm not using the Crescent Render book, I almost always am using a Canson book, because Canson is the OG, the best of the best, the GOAT for lack of a better term, and I still use it for watercoloring because it has some of, if not the best watercolor paper I've personally come across. And I know some of you are going to be like, why don't you use the Crescent Render book? The Crescent Render book has one flaw to it, and that is the fact that you can't use like watercolors or anything that involves water. It does not take water properly. But in every other regards, it's kind of worth it, considering that with its ability to take in inks, you can draw on both sides of the paper. And I literally mean both sides of the paper can be used. It doesn't bleed through at all. And that is astronomical. Like, not even Canson can do that properly in its inking books, or like in books that are meant for like mixed media and stuff like that. Speaking of Canson and going back to watercolors, I actually have new watercolors that I personally use. Originally, for the longest time, I used Koi watercolors, but I have plans to actually give this to one of my friends because I ended up grabbing the Grabby water set. Now then, I do have a story about initially trying to buy the Grabby watercolor set because I tried to buy them off the TikTok shop with a coupon, and it didn't work because I ended up using my preferred name, which has been delivered countless of times before. But not this time. TikTok shop said, "No, you ain't getting your package unless you use your birth name, bitch." But I ended up buying them off of Amazon for like twice the price, which like, I don't mind, honestly. I got them anyways, and they're worth the money regardless of how much I have to spend on them. As for digital art as well as animation-wise, I'm currently using Flip-A-Clip, though I'm heavily waiting for Procreate to release Procreate Dreams in November. As soon as that releases, I'm buying it. I know it's going to cost money, but I'm buying it. And if you couldn't already tell what I use for digital art, I use Procreate. It's absolutely worth the money. There's even one for your phone, which is called Procreate Pocket Edition, and that's also pretty worth it, though I don't use it nearly as often. Also, as a sort of, I guess, miscellaneous tool that I use, I specifically have a kneaded eraser that I have been desperately searching for that doesn't always come back in the stock. It is the Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. That one, to me, is my preferred kneaded eraser of all time. I've also gotten into the habits as of recently using colored lead mechanical pencils. It is absolutely worth the investment, and I genuinely think that it helps with getting out of art block, considering that the colors can inspire you to draw just random things. I will absolutely say, though, I have another set that's made from Bic. Specifically, it's part of the Bic Velocity series, which, like, I love the Bic Velocity series. That's normally what I go to for mechanical pencils. And, I forgot that they're 0.7mm lead, and I don't have 0.7mm lead in colored pencils, or whatever you want to call the lead. So, unfortunately, those ones are gonna run out, and I'm gonna have to go buy more off of Amazon. But I think for the rest of this video, I'm just going to let the music play until we ultimately reach the end, so I'll see you at the end card. And there we have it. Here's the full page for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I definitely enjoyed doing this entire page. And I have more planned in the future, so stay tuned for that. I shall see you guys next time.